He walked down a busy street, staring slowly at his feet, clutching pictures of past lovers at his side. Stood at the table where she sat and removed his hat in respect of her presence. Presents her with the pictures and says, "These are just ghosts that broke my heart before I met you. These are just ghosts that broke my heart before I met you." Opened up his little heart, unlocked the lock that kept it dark, and read a written warning saying, "I'm still mourning over ghosts, over ghosts, over ghosts, over ghosts that broke my heart before I met you." Lover, please do not fall to your knees. It's not like I believe in everlasting love. Lover, please do not fall to your knees. It's not like I believe in everlasting love. Welcome to another episode of Songs by My Soba. That was a rather melancholy and sort of sad song about somebody's past lovers, and now I'm going to go into our topic of the day, which is something very different. Bowel movements, yeah. And I'm sure you already know that from the title of the video. But today, we're going to talk about bowel movements because as a Peace Corps volunteer, this is something that you quickly become comfortable talking about. We are sort of forced into this new group of friends with this new group of people in a different country with a new home, a new language, completely new situation, as you can imagine. And one of the first things that is probably going to change is, yes, your bowel movements. You have, like I said, new food, a new routine. There's different stressors that you wouldn't typically have in your day-to-day life, maybe in the United States, depending on which Peace Corps country you're in. And also I discovered that the first part of our body which reacts to stress or trauma is actually the digestive system. So that would make a whole lot of sense that Peace Corps volunteers would end up talking about this topic. And, it becomes funny, and it also becomes nice that we can just be so open with each other. I was even like this before in the United States. My mother and my family knows about that. But I would like to give 4 tips to help you stay regular as either a Peace Corps volunteer, somebody who travels often, or just somebody who's working and living their life, no matter where you are in the world, because I think that digestive health is super important. And I also have studied to be a health coach, so I do have some knowledge on the digestive system and the foods that are good and bad for our gut health. And dealing with my own problems in Moldova, primarily constipation, I thought it'd be fun to share these tips because I do think it's a really important topic that we don't often take seriously. We think, oh, I just have diarrhea, oh, I'm just constipated. But it actually really can change your whole mood, change the amount of energy that you have, change definitely your skin and how you're feeling. Because how you feel internally obviously reflects externally, right? So tip number 1, which is to me the most important, especially in the Peace Corps setup, is to up your fiber. So make sure you're just getting tons of fiber. What I would recommend are leafy greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and then whatever other fruits or vegetables you have or you have access to. In Moldova, I think I've mentioned this before, people are gardening a lot in the summer through fall, and they'll collect the food in the fall. But then they preserve their vegetables through the winter, or conserve them through the winter, and they're typically tomatoes, some carrots, peppers, and pickles. So as a Peace Corps volunteer in Moldova, you're not getting so much variety of vegetables and nutrients. So what I would recommend for those people who are even in other Peace Corps countries and you're not having access to certain foods is maybe see if you can get to the capital or to a city and get some frozen vegetables at a supermarket. And that way you'll still get the nutrients, because when vegetables are frozen, they still maintain nutrients and minerals. They're not destroyed in any way. And of course it will be a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it to keep yourself regular. Great. And number 2 is to drink a lot of water. You can always recognize an American traveling because they have a big bottle of water with them. Especially in the Peace Corps, we always just have our bottle of water with us. We typically boil and then filter our water, and then, or some people just buy it depending on their village and their city that they're in. The reason I put this as number 2 is because even when I was changing my diet, I would be drinking tons of water and I still wouldn't be going to the bathroom. So if there really is something going on in your gut, water is not going to solve it. So that's why I put the vegetables at number 1, because you really have to look at what you're eating and up that fiber, because there is naturally is water in plants and in the vegetables we're eating, and that water that is found in the food is actually what is going to give you that nice movement, the nice bowel movement that we want. So that's why I put water as number 2. And for number 3 is to take 5 minutes every day to just breathe. And some people want to call it meditation. Some want to say it's a stretch for them, or they're walking, or they're dancing. But take 5 minutes to just relax. Like I said, if our digestive system is reacting to the stress in our environment, then obviously we need to take a moment and breathe. Because we often don't. And a lot of people will say, and you hear this just in like the wellness world and the health world, oh, I don't have time. If you have time to eat a banana, smoke a cigarette, go to the bathroom, then you have time to breathe for 5 minutes. Maybe it's uncomfortable for you, I don't know, but find something that will help you get the stress lowered and help your system to open up. And I also know as Peace Corps volunteers, some of us are busier than others, but I also know that we do have a decent amount of downtime, so I definitely know if you're a volunteer, you can find those 5 minutes. And then number 4 is to try to get a probiotic. Probiotic will restore the naturally healthy bacteria in your gut that you typically don't get from foods. In foods, we typically find the prebiotic, and then the probiotic is going to be that healthy bacteria that we want. And I am lucky and fortunate that I can get a probiotic from my doctor here in the Peace Corps. And if you're in another country, check it out and see. You don't know until you ask. And then if you can't get one from the doctor, in a lot of Peace Corps countries, I know there's a lot of host families have cows. So for me, I was basically eating like an unpasteurized, it's called kishrak, which is like a step before kefir. It's kind of like a curdled milk type of thing. So I would just take a couple spoonfuls to at least be getting that in my system. And then I would also buy a bottle of kefir, which is like a thin, soury type of like yogurt, for those who've never heard of it. They also produce it in the United States. Here it's fresh and it's great, full with a lot of great bacteria. So those are some other options for volunteers who might not have access to a probiotic. But if you also travel or have a vacation, I'm sure you can find a probiotic somewhere else if you can't find it in your own Peace Corps country. So I'll recap. Number 1 is up the fiber, veggies, veggies, veggies. Number 2, drink that water. Number 3 is to take 5 minutes to just breathe and de-stress every single day. Number 4 is to find some type of probiotic to restore that healthy bacteria in your gut. Because as travelers, we're exposed to so many things, and even in the United States, we're exposed to so many things, or wherever you live, every day we come into contact with all different types of things that contaminate our body. So we want to be careful and want to stay healthy. And I hope that you enjoyed that today, and I'm sending you lots of love and lots of great bowel movements, and I hope that you'll be regular, you'll be full of energy, and you'll be happy. And yeah, I'll see you next week. And that's all for today. Have a good day. Bye.